Hey, I'm Eva. I was created by Yulia, a real Russian teacher. People say your home says a lot about you. So tell me, do you live in a city or in the countryside? That's one of the first questions we ask when we meet someone. It's how every conversation about life begins. And in this lesson, we'll learn how to ask and how to answer this question. Before we start, I have some great news for you. In Russian, the present tense is much simpler than in English. There's no difference in the verb form. I live, I am living, or I have been living all mean the same. Я живу. We just add a time phrase, and the meaning becomes clear from context. As you already know from previous lessons, Russian verbs change their endings. That's how we know who is doing the action. Жить means to live. And now, it's conjugation time. And before we start, remember, your likes make me smile and make Yulia's day. So don't be shy, hit that like and subscribe.
Я живу. I live.
Я живу в деревне. I live in the countryside. Я живу в городе. I live in the city. Я живу в Бразилии. I live in Brazil. Ты живешь. You live. Ты живешь в России. Do you live in Russia? Ты живешь в Москве? Do you live in Moscow? So, how to build a phrase asking about a location? First, the question. Где means where. We usually put it at the beginning. Then just conjugate the verb жить. So here we are. Где ты живешь? Where do you live? To answer, conjugate the verb and use the name of your location in the prepositional case. Где ты живешь? Я живу в Лондоне. Where do you live? I live in London. Ты живешь в городе? Нет, я живу за городом. Do you live in the city? No, I live outside the city. Quick grammar note. If you want to say where you live in Russian, remember two things. The name of the place changes its ending, and you always need a preposition, v or na. V usually means in or at. We use it with cities, countries, buildings, and enclosed spaces. В Tokyo, in Tokyo. В Японии, in Japan. В доме, in the house. На often means on or at. We use it with open areas and activities. На улице, in a street. На концерте, at a concert. If a noun ends in a consonant, add the letter ye. Berlin, в Берлине. If you see endings a, ya, o и краткое, change that letter to ye. Машина, в машине. Семья, в семье. Окно, в окне. Музей, в музее. If it ends in iya, it becomes ii. Германия, в Германии. Want the full rule and more practice? Yulia left a link in the description. Don't skip it if you really want to learn Russian. Он живет. He lives. Мой дедушка живет на даче. My grandpa lives in the summer house. Мой брат живет на севере. My brother lives in the north. Где живет Иван? Он живет в центре города. Where does Ivan live? He lives in the city center. Она живет. She lives. Она живет у моря. She lives by the sea. Моя сестра живет в Турции. My sister lives in Turkey. Где живет твоя сестра? Она живет в Барселоне. Where does your sister live? She lives in Barcelona. Твоя тетя живет в деревне? Да, у нее свой дом. Does your aunt live in the countryside? Yes, she has her own house. Мы живем. We live. Мы живем в Италии. We live in Italy. Мы живем в Берлине. We live in Berlin. Вы живете. You live. Вы живете в столице? Do you live in the capital? Вы живете на юге? Do you live in the south? Вы живете в Чикаго? Нет, мы живем в Хьюстоне. Do you live in Chicago? No, we live in Houston. Notice that the ending O in Chicago stays the same. In Russian, foreign words ending in O, like Chicago, Toronto, Mexico, never change their ending, in any case. These words belong to a special group called indeclinable nouns. Они живут. They live. Они живут в доме. They live in a house. Мои друзья живут в центре города. My friends live in the city center. Они живут в высотке. They live in high-rise building. Твои родители живут в квартире или в доме? Они живут в квартире. Do your parents live in an apartment or in a house? They live in an apartment. Где живут твои братья? Они живут в Аризоне. Where do your brothers live? They live in Arizona. Let's wrap it up. Let's look at how жить is conjugated. We drop last two letters from the infinitive and get the stem жив. The letter v appears in all forms. Then we add the first conjugation endings. So we get я живу, ты живёшь, он, она живёт, мы живём, вы живёте, они живут.